It's no secret my ollies aren't exactly the best, and if you've been following this channel for the last couple of years, you'll know that I've been learning to ollie almost as long as I've been learning to skateboard. I've been held back by the fear of it, the fear of rolling over. For a long time I was held back by that, and then I suddenly realised, I don't know, in the last few months, possibly the last 6 months, that my ollie needed a lot more work to become more consistent. Having occasionally managed to do such bangers as that rolling ollie, I feel like it's really hard to get the weight distribution in the right place with the rolling ollie. Today we are following Dan Corrigan's Ollie Masterclass. First things first, he mentions being able to ollie as high as you can jump, and technique is...
So in this clip I'm going to be trying to jump my highest. As you can see, I'm just trying to bring my back crutch and foot up, bring them up to my chest as high as I can, because Dan says if you can like maximise your jump and like bring that helps to start with, but that's also only one part of the technique. This is that's my ollie, just like without any whatever you. I'm just doing a little bit of a description here, just explaining
how
that works. I don't know if I've got it out.
That foot, so we're not just going.
I thought I'd got rid of that bit.
Boom. We're actually jumping off that foot as well.
So we're trying again, and now I'm trying a different technique this time. In this technique, the secret is to, as you said, we're trying to bring that back foot up. I'm just trying to get my ollie like leveled out better, because as you can see, it's not a really very well leveled out ollie, and I was quite embarrassed when I actually saw these like clips. I was like, oh my god, is that what my ollie really looks like? But like, you know, this is actually how you get better, guys. Remember, watch clips of yourself. This is how you get better. So I was having a quick go at some switch ollies here. Sometimes I have better luck with those, depending on how I'm doing or whatever you on the day. But I'm trying to not moving, I don't know. But anyway, here we go. With that one at the moment, again, I'm not crouching down enough there, not getting the pop, and I'm also getting like that ghost pop as well. So that's not a very good example there. Like, you know, well, it's a good example of like bad ollies, but some of them I managed to get. I think I managed to get my switch ollies levelled out better than my regular ones, so that's something to do with, isn't it? You know. But yeah, like with the switch one, it's actually quite hard because it's my like bad shoulder, and I'm trying to drag that up the board to the front instead of how your foot does. So to level it out, and it's scary because if you land it slightly wrong and you get your shoulder wrong, it like flips out from under you, and then you end up like face planting, which I really hate. So yeah, I'm having another go at switch ollies again here, as you can see, just jumping up and down on the board, trying to jump off that back tail, because you know that's the secret. You know, you're actually snapping hard and you're jumping off your back foot. That's actually what you're doing, or your back crutch if you're me. So that's what I'm trying to do in these clips. I'm trying to get a better jump off that back foot and really bring up that ollie as best as I can. I've only started learning switch ollies fairly recently, I suppose, really. Not been that confident doing ollies at all, so doing switch ollies was something else. I can't remember even how I started doing them, because I couldn't do switch ollies back when I was a normal skater. So
that bit is a bit
here.
Do any of those? Just do the switch for a minute, because that's
happened. So, oh dear, that was a bit of a script. That's what happens when you land too front heavy with your crutch. So back to regular now, and this time I'm trying to actually sort of like tweak that ollie out. I know I'm not doing a very good job of it, but I'm trying to get that front. I'm trying to bone it down. Basically, Dan is saying here, I've got my notes in front of me, to try and basically get the front, push the board out in front of you, so you're pushing it out, but you want to get the front, nose dive the front, so it's lowered, so the front truck hits the ground for the back truck, and making your front foot lower than your back foot out is what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to get it to level out at all, and as you can see, my foot keeps moving up the board, and I keep landing accidentally. But I think I was getting a little bit better by this point. It's amazing how just a few little tips can change them. And looking here as well, I noticed this yesterday when I was out skating, that I keep turning my foot and my body slightly, so I need to also concentrate on keeping parallel to the board, keeping my shoulders lined up with the board area. That was a much better one for me, I think. They weren't all that great, but like, you know, just getting them to actually level out like a bit more, so they're not quite so rocketed, so they might not be ollieing quite as high. Oh yeah, there's another really good one there. I was really pleased with that. For me, and that one there too, just much better. You really do feel the pop, like feel so much better when you actually get a good one, and you feel it actually going. And my technique is just so much better. I'm going to do a side by side in a minute, or some point in the video where you can see the start to the end once, but like there's quite a big difference, quite a big difference. So Ollie Masterclass with Dan Corrigan has also obviously done something to help me, so still working it hard, really hard on them here, as you can see, really trying to snap that tail down. And when you're using obviously a crutch, that's actually quite hard to do, but they weren't quite as good at this point. But I was oh, there we are, we're back onto switch again now, so trying to imply the same technique, basically trying to like push it out in front of me. Not doing a very good job at the moment here, because as I said, you know, keep ghost popping, but you know, there we are, getting a reasonable pop every now and again, so that's something. And you do really feel like when you get, like I said, when you get a good pop, you will notice, you'll feel the difference. And it's like, but that one there, like my back foot keeps coming off the tail, so I need to concentrate on keeping it on the tail and keeping it on there. Like, because I'm trying to land it and like moving it away, like over the bolts, which I don't know why I'm doing that. I didn't even know I was doing that. So as you can see, I'm really concentrating on trying to push forward with that front foot, or the crutch in my case, which was actually pretty hard to do, but you know, I gave it a good go. And I think the most important thing to take away from this video would be that the fact that you know, my ollies aren't perfect. They're not going to be anywhere near as good as like someone like Dan's, but that doesn't stop me making the ollies that I've got better. So we're trying to work on getting straighter ollies, less rocketed, more boned, just better technique is what we're working on here. So that's the whole point in watching these videos. And if you haven't already, I would thoroughly recommend going and watching, I'll leave a link in the description below, Dan's video, the Ollie Masterclass. He does a kickflip one, he does loads. As you can see here, I'm trying to focus on getting my weight forward, and it's sort of culminating in me ending up like nose diving, but it's actually before I've even managed to like actually tap the tail down. So I'm getting it kind of straighter, but without the actual ollie happening. So it's weird really. I'm sort of getting there, not really getting the pop off the tail quite like I would like to there. That's quite a bit of a disappointment, but I think this is a bit I haven't edited. So we're going back to regular here again now. I think we're now on a different type of ollie. This is more of a functional ollie where we're trying to tweak our foot the opposite way. So this is the technique you'd use if you were going to do a railie or a wallie. You're trying to do the opposite, so you kind of get the outside of the front of your shoe and the inside of your back. I forgot when I was doing this, but Dan actually says about tweaking your ollie. He says actually to try and aim to get your knee down, like towards the board. And this one, if you can actually tweak your knee down, that sorry, I'm just turning through my notes here. That if you can actually tweak it down, you know, tweak your knee towards the board. Obviously, it's quite hard to do that when you don't have a knee. But I keep forgetting that technique actually as well. But like, this is actually really good if you're trying to do railies or wallies or anything like that. But you need to try and get the board up something. This is a good technique for that, so I do recommend that. This is my first time really trying that technique, and as you can see, it was quite something new for me. I've not really tried to ollie like that before and everything, so you know, it really does help when you're like trying to get into like wallies and stuff like that. You know, just that being able to get that boom up it like that. But I also need to be able to like level it out as well when I get over the top of something. So like, what'll happen is I'll roll into something and I'll lose my momentum, and I can't get that railie to kind of carry on over the top, or that wallie to carry over. So I need to be able to again work on that. That's a different thing entirely. That's I think Dan does some really great videos on wallies and railies, but yeah, I think he does them with Dale Decker, good old Dale Decker. But yeah, like, so I was trying really hard here on getting that, you know, the ollie technique, and getting that my front foot was like should have been like slightly more forward than it was possibly. And also forgetting to actually really crouch down to the trick. So really crouch down and powering using my thighs and my quads to really like push off and be more on the balls of my foot. That was a little bit better actually. But yeah, it's a different type of ollie, and if you haven't tried this one, it's going to feel weird, but it's definitely worth trying. As I said, you know, tweak your knee down towards the board. If you can actually aim to get your knee towards the board, that's a really cool way of doing it, and that will help you loads when you're trying to do whallies or railies. Dan really does help summarise these things and help show you that, oh, that wasn't too bad, help show you the different ways in which we can do this. So yeah, like it's you know, obviously being on crutches on a skateboard does change the technique. Well, it doesn't change the technique, but it means I do have to kind of adapt it for me. That wasn't too bad, that one. It is something that's quite difficult, but we try and carry on, we try and do it. We adapt and overcome, as they say. That wasn't too bad. Yeah, I've tried really hard, worked really hard on my switch game the last 6 months plus, really. And if you haven't already and you're a kind of a beginner skater, you've been skating for a year or so, oh, that wasn't bad, you know, then I definitely recommend taking it switch skating, because it'll help you so much. It'll help your confidence. I mean, you can 180 and stuff like that and not worry so much when you come out like switch or fakie or whatever. It just helps improve your just general board skating and comfortableness on the board, and just be able to ride it, really, you know. Alright, so where are we at now? So we were just still doing like last couple of switch ones. There we go. And yeah, that's the other technique. So I'm really pleased with that, actually, because I was expecting that it'd look a lot worse than that, but I really do want. I did manage to ollie up the curb a few times, so if I can actually repeat that and use this technique to get up the curb, that would be pretty cool too. But yeah, oh, here comes a pretty decent one. Yes, look at that. That wasn't bad at all, was it? So I did actually get some reasonably good air there in the technique. That's probably one of the best ones I've ever actually done, actually, I think. So that was a nice feeling, that one. You definitely know when you've got it. You just get that feeling. And then what I always like to do is repeat it and get it a few more times to make sure it's nice and solid. What'll always happen to me is I do one and then it turns out the rest of them are all rubbish. But at that one, I did manage to get the board to nosedive, but my foot came right up the board as well. So yeah, if you're going to do the nosedive thing, try and keep your feet over the top of the board where they're meant to be. My feet keep like drifting forward. And I land in like strange positions, like in manuals and stuff, which is good if that's what you want, or nose manuals, but it's not if you're not. So yeah, and that's what I'm trying to do in this here. I mean, it's quite hard. It's watching it back as well is really interesting, because it's nice to see what I have or haven't done right or wrong as it might be. But yeah, it's a good thing to be able to see where you know, be able to see your performance from an external perspective is really cool, and something 20 years ago I couldn't do. So like, I'm really trying to make the most of this technology for fakie ollies. But there we go, going for another one. That one I kind of came off on, but hey ho, you know, it's right, we live, we learn. Don't be afraid to just keep and try stuff. Like, my rolling ollies are still really terrible, and every time I try one I think I'm going to fall off, so I avoid it. And that is just definitely not the way to go with it. Don't avoid tricks that scare you. You know, build up to them. You can build up to them techniques. That wasn't too bad, but I didn't manage to get the back foot up off, you know, to actually get the ollie. That one could have been good, but unfortunately my back foot came off. I find it really hard to get the balance between the front and the back right, as you can see. So getting that weight from my body weight distribution from the back of the board, that was slightly better from the back to the front. So yeah, like, you know, I don't know if we're going for some switch rolling ones now. We are doing some switch rolling ones. So yeah, that's what we're doing, and see how we get on with those. Again, you know, it's oh, that wasn't too bad, but I lost it sadly. It wasn't far away. Managed to make it almost all the way to the end. That one I messed up absolutely completely. Trying again. Oh, back to regular. That wasn't too bad. I mean, I didn't really get the proper, but the weight was definitely, that would have been a really good one. If I could have stayed on the weight on top of that one, that would have been really good. That one I nosed though, but I didn't actually really get the pop either. So yeah, it's hard getting that for me anyway. Getting that. Oh, that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad at all. That one. You know, getting them off the ground, it is hard. It is hard, and like, when you're moving, it is an entirely different thing. I'm just trying to practice it as much as I can, because it is something I'm really not very good at. But I've been avoiding the entire time, because I'm like, you know, I just like doing something I can actually do that I can do well. So you know, doing like, you know, something I can't really do that well, it just like sucks, and it always hurts my shoulder. That one I tried and I fell. Try it again. That's the thing, just keep trying. Whatever you're doing, just keep trying it over and over, and that wasn't too bad. They're not going to win any awards, that's for sure, but you know, it's just getting the hang of the momentum and just getting comfortable with rolling and trying to top it. I find I can do nollie tricks quite easy rolling, like they came quite easy to me quite quickly. Like, I think it was the back side or whatever, the front side, I can't remember. But like, you know, whereas like rolling forward, I find those kind of tricks are absolutely a nightmare to get through.
by the way.
Yeah, the last few that I can see, I'm getting a bit tired now in the splits because it's hard work. That one wasn't too bad. I landed it super sketchy, but like I'm going to count it. That wasn't too bad either. Coming in for some more switch rolls. Kind of alright, but quite rocket. That's the problem. I'm finding that I'm landing all over my weight on the back foot when I'm doing the switch ones. Getting the weight forward and landing, so I'm like rolling away with my weight. That wasn't too bad. My weight distributed between the front and the back foot was what I'm trying to aim to do. So yeah. Oh, and we're throwing some rolling nollies just for fun. It was like, as you can see, I'm not too bad at nollies actually. I don't know why, but I can do nollies like pretty decent. But like switch moving ollies, I can get sometimes, and like regular moving ollies are like probably the ones I'm worst at. But like yeah, like rolling nollies, actually really pleasantly surprised how like quickly they came to me. That wasn't too bad. I do definitely need to get the weight further forward on the board. That is basically the problem I've got. I'm not getting the weight far enough forward. Ooh, hat's hit my head. So basically, you know, we're still landing like that. So I need to get that so the back truck is higher than the front. Just going back to some more stationary ones here to finish off. As you can see, just trying really hard, giving it everything I've got on that last one there. This was actually a couple of minutes ago when I filmed this. That's why I'm wearing a fleece, and it's summer now. But yeah, the weather was really changeable that day. 1 minute it was dry, the other minute it was wet, 1 minute it was dry. There's some not bad ollies there, just to finish off really. Like very hit and miss, but every now and again I will get one that I feel comfortable on. Don't know what I was doing there, just having a bit of fun I suppose. And then just onto the last bit here now, where I think I'm just going to be trying the last few ones. Where are we up to? No, I'm talking for a second. No, I'm not. Yes, no. All right, okay. So then, yeah. So I'm stood that the battery of the camera died. So here we go, and the commentary is over. Bam. My outro's go. Like that and sit like that then. Alright guys, so we ran out of battery, and it was probably just as well because it started hammering it down really badly. Yeah, that was me following Dan Corrigan, trying to learn how to ollie higher, better. Dan Corrigan's Ollie Masterclass, as I said. There's a link in the description as well. If you've not checked out his videos, you really need to. Yeah, Dan Corrigan, awesome YouTuber, awesome skater, and probably one of the best YouTube skate instructionals that I've come across. Really freaking helpful, so I thoroughly recommend checking out his videos. Just has a way of describing things. You know, he really, in my opinion, has like the pinnacle of foot control of his board and what he's doing, and actually how he controls the board and manipulates it. So, like, you know, before I watched this video, I thought an ollie was just a ollie, and this video has helped introduce some concepts to me which I'd not heard of before, you know, bringing the fox tape that way, and actually boning the ollie to get that back end up higher than the front and landing it. So we had a really good time. I didn't take too many bad slams. That was me, Amputee Adele, a 36-year-old skateboarder, amputee, sorry, relearning to skateboard with 2 crutches and 1 leg, and you were watching me trying to learn to ollie from Dan Corrigan's Ollie Higher Masterclass. If you haven't already, you can check out all my other videos. I've got almost 100 videos, something silly like that. You can find them by going down below to my channel. You can hit subscribe. That would be a massive thanks from me. It would be so helpful. And you could also maybe like the video. If you like the video, smash that like button. I'd love to know if you're a skateboarder and you're learning to ollie, where you are on your ollie journey. I'm on a subscriber drive. I'm at 240 when I film this. Heading for 250. Really want to get to 250, and the next big target is 500. Really want to get that community, the Facebook community. If you wanted to help me get to that goal, I would enormously appreciate it. You don't have to. It's a shameless shameless self-plug, but please, if you want to and you want to support my channel, and maybe tell your friends and family, send them along and get them to subscribe to, and join my massive Amputee Adele family of lovely, kind people who are open-minded, chill, who worry less, skate more, because if I've got this, you've got this. Peace, one love, and yeah, 2 crutches.
one there actually. 2 crutches, 1 leg, maximum effort. See you next time, guys. I can't do it, I don't even know why. Yes! Got it! Yeah! Big up, guys!